This is an RNZ podcast.
Malo e tau lava, welcome into the Tongan Language Week special of News to Me. Ko hoku hingoa, ko Zion. You know, my favourite thing about News to Me is it feels like it's news to me. You can thank Harry Styles for that one. Let's get into it. It is the end of the second Elizabethan era. Queen Elizabeth has died. Britain's longest-serving monarch died at her Scottish estate, aged 96, which comes just 2 days after her last official appearance. Queen Elizabeth was surrounded by her children and Prince William and reigned for an incredible 70 years. Tributes from around the globe have been pouring in. The UK's former Prime Minister Boris Johnson eloquently said she seemed so timeless and so wonderful that I am afraid we had to come to believe, like children, that she would go on and on. So what happens now? Well, her eldest son Charles, the former Prince of Wales, will now lead the country and becomes King of New Zealand as King Charles III. And eventually the images on our money will change and perhaps even our public holiday. And the British national anthem will change to God Save the King. In local news, an investigation has found police are routinely and illegally photographing and filming young people and adults. People were photographed for simply looking out of place or suspicious. Officers have also photographed and fingerprinted youth in custody who have yet to be charged, stating it benefits intelligence building. The on-duty app reports 53% of the pics had an ethnicity recorded as Māori. The police have now tightened the rules around officers taking photos out of custody. However, some believe it may lead to more Māori being arrested. 20,000 school children head to Tauranga this week for the most exciting sporting event on a pre-teens calendar. After a 2-year gap caused by the pandemic, the AIMS Games are back. The multi-code event with over 23 sports for intermediate-age students is one of the biggest in the Southern Hemisphere. Some of the disciplines include rock climbing, my favourite hip-hop, and cross-country running. It's not every day you stumble across a worm this big. 9-year-old Barnaby Domigan spotted one over 1 metre long on the edge of a stream near his family's Christchurch home. While the rest of the family were pretty grossed out by it, understandably, he was very excited. Several species of native worms in New Zealand can grow over 30 centimetres long, and one reaches 1.3 metres. After all, worms are nature's recyclers, and as we've talked about our planet and the effect of climate change so much lately, we've got our experts together to bring you an explainer on exactly that, climate change. Check it out.
All right, eco-warriors, it's time to talk.
Climate change, and how can we fight it?
Climate change refers to long-term changes in the average conditions, such as temperature and weather patterns.
Earth's climate has constantly been changing, even long before humans came into the picture. However, scientists have observed unusually quick increases in global temperatures over the last century.
So, what is causing climate change?
There are lots of factors that contribute to Earth's climate. However, scientists agree that Earth has been getting warmer in the past 50 to 100 years due to human activities.
Certain gases known as greenhouse gases, they trap the sun's heat and stop it from escaping the Earth's atmosphere.
These gases act as a blanket that keep the Earth warm, like the glass in a greenhouse keeps plants warm.
Burning fuel, clearing land and forests, creating landfills and running farms are some of the ways in which we emit greenhouse gases and cause our climate to get warmer faster.
Many people think climate change just means warmer temperatures, but temperature rise is only the beginning of the story. Oh no!
The increase in Earth's average temperature leads to a number of concerning changes we can see across the planet.
Extreme droughts, severe fires, melting polar ice, floods, and ginormous storms are only a few of the massive impacts.
This all sounds awful.
Well, you're not wrong. The goal is to generate fewer greenhouse gases. You can do that in lots of ways by reducing the amount of energy you use. By turning off lights and powered items that you're not using, you're reducing the energy that it takes to generate that power.
So you can reduce the amount of rubbish waste that you create, which also saves a lot of energy.
You can take public transport instead of cars, and eating less meat is another great way too. It takes a lot of energy to produce that steak on your plate.
You could even plant trees because trees help to remove greenhouse gases from the air.
Awesome.
Every little bit helps. The future of the planet is in your care, and it's great news to me that you are on the job.
I'm Evie Orr. And this episode was made by TVNZ and RNZ and is public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air. You or your parents can follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or just about any podcast app. Plus, you can watch News to Me on TV2 on Friday afternoons, catch it on demand, or listen to it just before the 7 o'clock news on Saturday mornings on RNZ National.